Conference will now be recorded.
Yes. Hello, everybody. This is Jim Marshall in a veteran support group out of the AnCan Foundation, and it's February the 3rd, all day long, Tuesday. And for the next 2 hours, we will talking about veterans support issues. Also, if you're military retired, and also you could also be U.S. government civilian retired because all three can intersect. The first thing I'd like to do is thank our sponsors. The AnCan Foundation is sponsored by Novartis, Telix, Johnson & Johnson, Foundation Medicines, and Blue Earth Diagnostics. And so anyway, we talk about veterans thing, veteran claims, also military retired pay, combat related service compensation, health care, and all kinds of interesting things. Uh, okay, Mark from West Virginia, I think you said you had something to bring up.
Yeah, I'm I'm going through all my paperwork for end of life series because of what we talk about here. So I'm going through wills and funeral arrangements and things like that. And so um, there's an article that you brought up, a 10 dash whatever for the advanced directive for the VA that you said that we needed to go and get and update and give it to our CPC. I went into the Wilmington VA, and I've never had one before, but I have a care worker, and it surprised me. So I called her up and I told her what I was doing was updating things, and she said, "Thank you so much for calling me." So Friday I have an appointment with her, and we're going to sit down for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. She said, "Don't fill out that paperwork. I want you to come in here and sit with me, and we'll start the first half of this paperwork." So she invited
Okay.
me. She invited me to come, and we're going to sit down and do the first part of that paperwork. Now, when that's all said and done, then she's going to send that paperwork over to my primary care doctor, and then my primary care doctor is going to call me in with this first half, and then my primary care doctor is going to sit down with me and talk to me about the final half, just one on one with her and I, because it comes into what she's going to do upon my wishes, which I thought was pretty nice. That I said, should I bring my wife or somebody else or with me? And they said, no, no, this is between you and what you want the VA to do for you. So
Oh,
I thought that was very nice that my uh, care worker was going to sit down and actually talk to me and help me fill out this paperwork. I didn't have to stumble through it myself. And then when we're done, send it over to my primary care, and then my primary care doctor will make arrangements so I can come in and sit with her. And she says, the care worker says, it's basically what you want for the VA to do for you. You don't have to get into the family wants this or the family wants that and everything. It's going to be based on what you want. And then when
okay.
that's all,
Now, uh, so is this a form I mentioned? I don't
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Which of the forms are we talking about?
it was a 10. I don't have any fun. Anybody else got that number? It's a 21, I
Are
think.
you talking about the 21-0845?
Yes. But she said, don't fill that out. We'll do that paperwork one on one together, which I thought was okay. She's
So the 0845 is also going to be used for end of life stuff too?
All she told me is don't fill that
Oh,
form out. We're going to go over all the forms that we need there with her. We're
oh,
going to do
good.
it individually. And
Okay, good. Because I was under the impression the 845 was just to speak for you, like provided they call you for like a CNP exam or something like that. I
yeah,
wasn't aware it has more implications than just that.
yeah. I'm talking
So,
about the one that you brought up for advanced directive, the
oh,
living will part at the end.
oh, the advance directive.
Correct.
I hate to say it, but I don't remember that one. which which there have been so many of the forms that I've been trying to get familiar with. So I'll tell you what, take notes on this thing,
I, I will.
and after you go through the process, explain it to all of us,
I will.
because I'd be interested too, and I'm
Well,
sure others.
what's driven this home
Okay,
is what goes on in this room where we're all talking about oh uh, end of life issues, what do we want to do, and everything else. I mean, I've kept tax receipts, and I did not know I had 15 years of taxes sitting in my closet that I've kept. And
oh,
you only need like three or four, and because I was showing my wife this is where stuff's at, and this is who
right,
you call, and well, it's a mess when you start digging into these wills and end of life. We know where they're at, but nobody else knows where they're at.
right,
And
that's
so this group is kind of like getting me thinking about
right,
issues with end of life. And so I've been pushing myself to do this. I've been letting my family know where stuff is at. Everybody's got a copy of my will and all that when we did it
right,
all, including cremation arrangements and all that. That's all paid for. So they all had, they have all that, but that was in 2016, and a lot of things have happened since 2016.
right,
So this group has really like got me thinking about, okay, we got to get this going here a little bit, and so I'm trying to do that, and but I found out I had all these text preparation boxes and boxes, and I was like, oh my
oh yeah,
gosh, if the house ever catches fire, that's the first part of the house is going to go up is all those tax receipts. But you know, I, so I went when I went to the VA, and then I got this number, and I called this woman, and she was so nice on the phone. She goes, "Well, I want to see you, so let's do it Friday because I have a dental appointment." She says, "And you can come in right after dental, and we'll sit down and go through all this together." And I'm taking my paperwork with me. She said, "Bring what you
yeah,
want," but she's just going to help me get all the forms ready so that part will be done, and then go over and talk to my CPC. That will be my next section
right,
after get an appointment. And so, but she kind of says, this is what you want because
right,
what happens is when people get sick, nobody knows what dad wants or nobody knows where stuff is at and everything else. And so, I'm going through, this is where the veterans is, this is the person you talk to, this is my representative. I told her, you gotta contact uh, my federal uh, paycheck, and social security. I'm trying to do it not in a big glob, but just kind of working my way through it so I can give it all to her and say,
sure.
here, this is what it is, and trying to make it easier for the family. So
Oh,
yeah,
oh, absolutely. The thing, anyway, I did a number of years ago was I turned over, okay, all of the financial stuff, the bill paying, tax, filing. Of course, there is a CPA involved anyway to help us out. But yeah, I turned everything over to her. And
and
that's
I
been now close to 3 to 4 years now. So
and
she is on top of everything, and I just sit back and marvel.
and
And it took time
I've
too.
done that also.
Yeah,
She's got the checkbook now, and she does a much better job at the checkbook than I ever did, you know. But
yeah,
she does all that and takes care of all that, and so it's you know, for me it's been difficult. For her it's starting to take the finances over with, because when we got married she took care of all that stuff and I just worked.
yeah,
Now,
right.
now I'm having to, you know, give it back to her. But
Yeah, sure.
I just don't want her to go through anything. But you
Oh,
know,
no.
just like in your wills, this has been 10 years ago. People's addresses have changed. So now I got to write addendums to the will because people got new addresses. Now I don't need to change my will. I just have to kind of update where these are at. So I don't have to go out and get a whole new will done. I just need to do an
Right,
addendum to update these little things. Like I don't live in North Carolina, I live in West Virginia. So just those little
right,
things you
right.
have to update. But everybody's going to get what everybody's going to get. So I just want to make it easy.
Absolutely. Right, absolutely. And another thing in general, if you die of a service-connected disability, then make sure that it shows up, okay, on the death certificate,
Correct. Correct.
because then the wife will be entitled to a VA pension.
Correct.
And that pension can range anywhere from about $1,700 a month up to about $3,300, depending upon the number of years that you were essentially 100%
Correct.
disabled.
Correct.
So that's
And
something that they should understand and make sure. I know in the trauma of the day or something, it can get missed, but if it gets
and
missed, get
and
it
there's this
changed.
right. There's the 7 year rule and the 10 year rule. And right now in front of Congress is to make those 5 years. So, you know, I mean, there's all these things that are going on with the Veterans Administration, and you have to be your own advocate. You just can't bounce on here every 2 weeks on a Tuesday night and think that we're going to bail you out. You've got to you've got to find somebody that knows a lot about that and get in there and get this work done because
Right, get it done
correct.
in
That's
the
it. That's all
beginning.
I got. That's all I got.
Okay.
Do your homework.
Oh, good. Okay. Let's see. Ed McDermott left. I take it he bounced out of here. So shucks. Okay. Richard, I think you said that you had an update for us if there's anything.
Yes, thank you. It's I think I had a terrible memory lapse. The because I was thinking more about that poor fellow in the last group from I think Denver, who was trying to get a letter from his doctor, and then anyway, so I was focused on that, but I can't remember what you recommended I do with my
What?
situation now. And what's happening is that uh, just to recap, the VA is going to continue my 100% as my PSA is being monitored. But
Right.
as a separate issue, I've been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, and I'm
Right.
going through
Okay.
some laboratory tests tomorrow. I've got a Doppler sonogram. So my question was, you recommended there was an easy form that I use to submit these current medical records dealing with the kidney issue. And my question then is, what is that? And the second is, what is the narrative that I put into it? Because it's
Okay.
we're not at the point where we can connect it to radiation. Is it residual from radiation or not? That's not been decided, and it's not a presumptive from Agent Orange either. It's always going to be a secondary condition. So
Well,
One, what is the form and how do I explain it?
well, actually, at this point, the thing that I would do is to view it as the beginning of a new claim.
Okay.
Okay, and the first challenge, as you stated, was what is the service connection? Okay, and that's kidney issues. I briefly looked at it from the kidney aspect, but not the service connection issue. And seems to me offhand in all of the toxic exposure stuff that I've gone through, that kidney issues come under being exposed to toxic materials. And I'll have to go back and research that. So the thing I would do at this point in time, throw in the intent to file. So call up the number essentially in the morning and put in the intent to file, and I'll make a note of this that I need to start looking at kidney issues. Now, the way they happen to rate kidney issues is on the value in your EGFR blood test.
Right.
If it's the normal range is 60 or greater, then there's down to 30 to 50 or 31 to 59 or something, and then there's 15 to 30, and if it's below 15, then you're in trouble, deep trouble.
Yeah,
So
I'm at 43.
You're at 43. So let me think here. If I think that would be 30% in a disability. Now, also, if you have kidney failure, then automatically, even if you are not a disabled vet, you get 100% free VA healthcare and with the rest of your life. So the VA will pick it up all the way through the kidney transplant too, for then any veteran that served. All that you have to be is just a veteran. You could have been in the band, okay, as a trombone player for 2 years. You're a veteran. There is no service connection required for kidney failure. Now, to get that's healthcare side, but on the disability side, if you are going to get money, then there has to be some service connection established. And I know seems to me on the firefighting foam, there is kidney problems. So I think we can figure up service a connection out of that.
Yeah, in my case,
And
it's just going to be based on the Agent Orange exposure.
well, it could be. Well, where were you besides Vietnam?
That was it.
Where?
Basic training, AIT.
Wait. Okay, where were you at basic training?
Fort Bragg.
Oh, EPA toxic waste site. And AIT was also there too.
Fort Dix.
Oh, Fort Bragg, another big hitter in the EPA toxic waste site, and then it was Vietnam.
That's correct. Yep.
And then you were out.
Yep. I extended my tour and took advantage of the early out program, the 5-month early out.
So you extended your tour, but you got an early out?
Yep. So I
Ooh,
extended by 2 months. I served 14 months Vietnam.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can figure out how to. And who are you seeing for the kidney issues?
We just started that. It's a nephrologist in Maryland here, and then I'm going to go to. He wants me to go back to my original urologist to include him on this assessment. And tomorrow
Okay,
is the Doppler sonogram, which is a much more detailed one than
right,
the previous sonogram.
sure. Okay, well, as I said, I will start to look at that and figure out how to take in a claim and then well, actually, you can maybe postpone the intent to file until you get like essentially a diagnosis. I mean, a week or two isn't going to be that big because you are currently already essentially 100. So all that would do is to, as that hopefully eventually on that 100% for the prostate cancer will be downgraded because hopefully you'll be in a durable remission eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
We
And I
hope.
have some residuals. I have incontinence that change pads four times a
Right.
day, which is 60%, I believe, more than
No,
four. So that's
no, actually it's changed. Oh, pads?
yes.
No, I thought
Yep.
pads was 5 or more a day was 60 and 4 is down at 40.
Well, I guess I can go four during the day and one at night because I get up
Well,
so early.
actually, so that would be 5 total
Yeah,
because they always ask you how many pads do you change in a day, but they don't tell you a day means not daylight day,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
24-hour day. So yeah, if it's 5, it would be 60%. So as I say, eventually on a downgrade of 60 to that, and then a 30% on the kidneys, that would give you 70% at the time the smoke clears. And I'm sure there are possibly other things. Oh, hearing, right? You got hearing problems?
Yeah, good memory, sir. Yeah.
Hearing, that's another 10. Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, I will do some looking tomorrow. I do have
Appreciate
some
that,
time.
Jim. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, let's see. Eric, I think you said you have some update. How's
Yep.
it coming along? Are you into the C&P exams yet?
Well, you helped put together such a good case that
Okay,
every one of them has actually went to either an ACE because the original one was an ACE, which was
okay, right.
a scheduled phone call, but they didn't even have to call. And then the
Oh,
second,
good.
so then it went back to rating, and then it went back to C&P exam again. And that time they scheduled it with a doctor, and I didn't even have to participate at all. He
Oh,
reviewed the
okay,
medical records, and as of
right.
today, it just switched over to preparing decision letter.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, so either they bought it or they did not buy it.
yeah,
So
right.
hopefully it'll be 100% and
And
refresh my
so
memory.
the other thing that
Uh,
I went to
yeah,
my medical records from the VA,
okay.
and what through this process they actually added into my medical records exposure to hazardous chemicals.
Okay, so that is the Terra. that is the Terra aspect of this. Terra is not money. Terra is free healthcare. That's true even if you're not rated 10%, 20, 30, or 40. Usually only gets you free healthcare for what you are rated for. Once you get to 50, you get it all, 50 or higher. But Terra, if they rate you for Terra, toxic exposure, then you get free health care the rest of your life. So that's a good thing to have in your back pocket. Even if they deny it, you still get the health care, which I don't think they will because I've got 3 others exactly like you, and it was no problem, essentially 100%. So that's good. Okay,
Yeah, so
well then,
here's something that
keep me posted because I like good news. I like
yeah.
success stories.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Jim. That's couldn't have done it without you on this one. We'll see what it
Okay.
says, but it's looking pretty positive.
Well, it's interesting because Eric never deployed overseas, and he was never within a combat zone, but he was exposed to toxic materials in the U.S. And as I've been saying, practically every military installation had some form of toxic materials. And depending upon what they are, you can claim those as service connection, but it's a little more involved than if you had deployed overseas into the war zone, because those are presumptive. The ones over in the States aren't, but there is a way to convince the VA to give you money. Good. Okay. Let's see. Henry joined us. Now, this is just Henry, not Henry Holloway, the other Henry.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good, sir. Do you have any questions to bring up?
Who?
Just straight
What?
Henry, not Henry Holloway. I will get
Oh no,
to Henry Holloway shortly, but this is
no,
just Henry.
no, I'm all set. Thanks anyway.
Oh, okay. Okay, Henry Holloway. How you doing, partner?
President accounted for, sir.
Oh, because Henry Holloway's up here with us iced in, so I know that. So, okay. Carl, I'm curious. I'm curious about why you're here, or what do you think you can, or what do you think we can do to assist you
Well,
in general? Are you
if
Army, Navy, Air Force, or what?
Army,
Army. Okay.
if you
And
you and I had a conversation about 10 days ago or so,
okay.
and you suggested I come to this group,
Okay.
which is fine. And I used to be a wheel vehicle mechanic, and I
Oh,
worked
yes. Yeah.
and I worked in at a number of sites that were toxic sites, and we used a
Right.
chemical. I want to say this is called toluene.
Or are you talking about TCE, trichloroethylene?
Oh, there you go, trichloroethylene.
Right.
You know, to clean parts and things like that.
Yeah, Carl, I want you to meet Eric Baker. He did the same kind of stuff.
Same exact thing.
Eric,
Same.
what state, Lafayette, are you in?
Indiana.
Oh, you're not far from me.
Where are you from?
St. John, Indiana, up in the northwest corner.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My son used to work at the Caterpillar tractor plant there. One of them,
Oh yeah.
the one that made the generators.
Yep. Still there. Still kicking them.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, yes, now you are refreshing my memory. Yes. On the trichloroethylene, that is known to cause prostate cancer. And that's what anyway Eric claimed, and a few others here too.
Lucky
And
me.
okay, so the thing that we need to do is or get you going on a claim. Okay, and
Yeah, you and I traded emails about this. I did do that.
okay, so
And I think the next day you sent me an email saying you're now 4 for 4. Do you recall that?
yes, and with Eric, I would be 5 for 5 on that one. Figuring out exactly how to convince the VA that even though you did not deploy, okay, overseas, okay, into and with the war zone, then how come it is service connected? So, okay, yes, good. Okay, we can start that process. And did I tell you to do the intent to file?
I did do that,
Oh,
and they told me they'd have the forms to me in 7 to 10 days. You told
okay,
me to hang on to them and call you before I did anything.
right, great. Okay, yeah, that is exactly the way it will go. And then the thing I'll do is to get with you probably at the end of the week or uh, the weekend to tell you what you need to get rounded up so I can start the claim. Okay, and the way I work is that I will educate you about how you will submit your own claim. I do not submit the claims because I do not want the power of attorney kind of like to actually submit it for you because eventually I may not be around because I'm an old guy pushing 82, prostate cancer, heart problems, etc., etc. So you will ultimately get all of this stuff, understand how it was put together, essentially the methodology I used and the methodology you could use essentially in the future, and you submit the claim yourself. And after that, you will be a whiz at it, trust me.
Very good.
So, okay. And I take it you are currently under treatment for the prostate cancer?
I am.
And how is the treatment going?
I think it's going pretty good myself.
Okay.
Prostate cancer is a real sneaky thing.
Oh, it is. And
There's no symptoms really. The symptoms you might get, you think it's because we're old. But we got my PSA down. It was at 29. We got it down to 0.1. I had 20 rounds of radiation, and now we're continuing on with Ogorvic and Extendi.
Okay, now,
And
how long do they say that you will be on that combination,
it
on
depends.
the doublet therapy?
Yeah, it depends on which of my doctors you listen to.
Okay.
The oncologist said forever. The urologist
Oh,
said, urologist said probably about 2 years, and then I would take a vacation from it. And we,
okay. So in general, and I don't know if they use this term or not, did they declare you stage 4?
yes, I'm
Oh, okay. Well, then now
I'm
that
actually four
sort
plus
of,
four.
well, no, wait. Stage 4 mean now a
Not my
Gleason score is a 4+4, which is an 8. But a, s- a stage 2 says the disease is entirely contained within the prostate capsule.
yeah, no,
Stage 3,
I'm metastatic.
now, well, now, interesting enough, in the eyes of the VA, if you tell them you are metastatic, what they will assume is that you're stage 3. That happened to me. I was stage 4, and I went to my handy dandy MOA, Military Officers Association, VSO, and he put down, and I was a novice at this. I figured he knew the stuff. He had done it for years, and he put down in the claim I was metastatic prostate cancer. Actually, I was stage 4, incurable, supposedly terminal metastatic prostate cancer. So apply to the VA, and I get back, then I'm 100% temporarily disabled. And I'm scratching my head going, what do you mean I'm temporary? Don't you understand what stage 4 is? Well, it turns out metastatic to them means stage 3, which is essentially in the capsule and still just outside the capsule in the pelvic area. Very treatable. So in this claim that we put you in for, it will be made absolutely clear that this is not just metastatic. I always like to put, and it sounds terrible, I will admit, I always put stage 4 incurable terminal metastatic prostate cancer.
I
And I
think we
did
can
that.
we can document that. I believe I have
Oh,
documentation for that.
absolutely. Absolutely. And so on in the supplemental I did, I think I mentioned that 13 times. And surprisingly, I came back 100% permanent and total, which I should have been.
Sure.
So it was something I learned about how they interpret what we put down in medical terms. So yeah, so out of it all, it's it should be 100% permanent total. Now, Eric, I got a question for you. Have you checked into what state veteran things you can get out of it? Because I know up here in Virginia, I don't have to pay property taxes. Or if you are 100% permanent and total, you don't have to pay property taxes. What
I
about
think
Indiana?
I think it's a discounted program. Carl might be able to answer that too. In Indiana, it's some once you're a veteran, you automatically get it. I don't know if it changes based upon rating or not. I guess that's something I can look into for sure.
Yeah,
I would.
unfortunately, I cannot answer that.
Okay.
I've never checked into it.
Right, yeah. Now, actually, Eric, the thing that after you get your rating thing, and if there are any of the veteran benefits to be had, you will have to prove it. Okay, and the easiest way is to sign on to www.va.gov. And the thing they don't tell you is about the fact that if you click on your name, there's a pull down that comes down. I know I hunted all over there. I went through my VA and I went through about the VA and I went into My Healthy Vet. And finally, I was all flustered and I said, well, I'm going to log out. And I clicked on my name and all of a sudden I see this pull down that sure enough, okay, at the bottom of it, it says log out. But I see profile and I see this thing called letters. And if you click on letters, there are about 6 of them in there. And one of them gives you, because if you've got service connected disabilities, I don't care if it's just 10% hearing problems, there is a way you can get onto a military installation and shop at the commissary and the PX. And in there is a letter that you can print off with your information in it that you carry to that base, and they will then register you. And also on your ID card, your VA ID card, under your picture, it'll say something like VA healthcare entitled and service connected. That's your ticket or your ID to be used to get onto military installations and shop essentially at the commissary and the exchanges. And also you can buy things on afees.com or afees.com, I think it is, which is the online exchange system for the Air Force and the Army. So there's a lot of good things. Sylvester Mann, nice to
Hello,
see you,
everybody.
sir. Nice to see you.
Always a pleasure
Sylvester,
saying hello to you all.
Sylvester is a retired VA employee that comes in and provides a lot of good information. Okay, anybody else have any questions or are there any topics that anybody would like to talk about? Oh, Mark.
The Secretary of Veterans Affairs and the President are talking about this, more money being spent on people with chemical issues, like drugs and things like that. Is that
Right.
coming down? Is that coming down the road, and how long is it going to take to work its way in? My son is a director of peer support for a drug group down in Ocala, California, and money's starting to dry up after COVID that they've depended on. So, he's looking into this too, because we need this. We need this in the veterans group, is because we have a lot of chemical issue and uh, PTSD issues, and we need to help support these guys. So I was
Right.
just wondering how we can, as retired veterans or ex-veterans, get involved with supporting this legislation, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be asking for money from us.
Well, actually, now, are you talking about for drugs to be gotten through the VA?
support for
Or-
the people that are on drugs that need to come off of them.
And these are veterans,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
It seems to me I've been reading some things and I've been squirreling away news things about for the next reminder
Okay.
that has to do with spending money, like they took back $77 million that was going to be spent to put in electric car charging stations at the VA hospitals. And so they're not going to do that. Okay. And there's another thing where they pulled back, I forget how many hundreds of millions of dollars that was supposed to be spent on some things, and they are putting it towards healthcare.
Well,
So
what I'm trying to get to is
yeah.
if this is today's news as veterans here today, we got to make sure this stays up front. And we've got
Oh
to,
yeah.
you know, if they're promising these things for our veterans that are suffering through chemical issues and PTSD issues and things like that, because there's veterans out there that are getting hooked on these medications that the Veterans Administration are giving us. And now the Veterans Administration is sort of like saying, you know, we need help with these chemicals that the
Well,
veterans. So I'm just
uh,
trying to say we need to stay in front of this and make sure that if
well,
they're going to
actually,
promise
yeah.
this, if they're going to promise this, then we need to keep up in front of it too. Make them.
Well, that would be through your local congressman in the House, okay, and the senator and all of that stuff. American Legion and VFW, Vietnam Veterans Association, which is now kind of getting old now, and they're talking about because there's so few of us around of not shutting down but converting to something else. I don't know. So yes, there is all of that. Eric, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I actually was just going to ask the group a question. This is the one group that I try to make every single time. I know there's other groups involved with AnCan, and one of them, another one I guess that I'm interested in and just haven't had a chance to join is the Veterans Speaking Freely.
Oh yeah.
So I just kind of want to learn a little bit about that before I hop into one to make sure it's, I don't know, something that would make sense for me here.
Okay, well, in general, I do not run that group. Bill Franklin does, along with Colonel Boykin, if he's still here. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's there. He's just trying to be quiet. He's
Okay,
eating
well,
chips and stuff on the side.
Colonel Jordan, could you give him a little synopsis of what the Veterans Speaking Freely's all about? Oh,
You're muted.
well, no.
He's
He's
actually
talking, but we can't hear him. He needs to select the right microphone, I think.
He just doesn't want us hearing all those potato chips being chomped on as he's doing, like he usually
Oh,
does.
now he's muted there. And
Eric, I can say straight up, it's not recorded, so what you say there stays there.
right,
So I wanna
it
make
isn't
sure.
recorded, and it will talk about anything you would like to talk about,
Correct.
except for
Politics.
Okay. Except for
the
treatment. Can y'all hear me now?
VA, claims healthcare. What?
Can y'all hear
Treatment.
me now?
Oh,
Yep.
there we go. Okay, I turn it over to the good Colonel.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
the guys covered a lot between Jim and Mark. They covered a lot. The key thing is that we talk about veterans' emotional issues and anything else we wanted to talk about. Sometimes we talk about just war stories. Sometimes we talk about, just how a member of the group is feeling, or a certain struggle that they're having. We don't get into anything heavy in terms of like suicide, those kinds of things. That's way above any of our pay grades. But what our group does is it allows veterans to come in, both men and women, to talk about issues that the other speaking freely groups don't understand because they never, have served. They sometimes can't understand the sarcasm or the lack thereof that occurs in our group, which is just fine. And other folks walk away and think, well, we're mad. It's like, well, you guys know how it is. We're not mad. It's just, hey, we're finally expressing ourselves. So the whole genesis for our group is to allow us to talk about life issues primarily that just impact veterans. And we avoid, like everybody said, we avoid politics, religion, all the polarizing type topics that you would have in any group. Nothing we say is recorded. And sometimes our sessions last an hour, sometimes they last 2 hours, sometimes they last half an hour because we don't have a script and we stay and talk as long as we want to talk that particular night. And we have anywhere on any given night, anywhere between 4 to 12 people joining us as a general rule.
Okay.
Okay.
And we don't
When's the
talk
next
about
one?
our barbers either. We kind
And
of
we don't
keep
talk
that
about
out.
barbers, right. And we don't talk about the same issues here. And every once in a while, we'll have somebody come in and try to, get healthcare navigation. And we say, no, that's a different group. You need to go to that group. They meet twice a month. And so we're pretty protective of our time in the sense that we think of it more like a happy hour without the alcohol. Or some guys may be drinking too.
When
Yeah,
is the next one, out of
We
curiosity?
meet the fourth Tuesday of the month, so the next one is at 8. So I can't tell you what
Well, it'll
day of the
be
week it is off the top of my head.
it's the 26th or something like that because I've
That-
got something on the fourth Wednesday around here at the American Legion, and I think it's on the 27th. I would have to
I'm
on my
looking at
calendar.
yeah. It's
I would say just come in and join, and you
Right,
don't have to say anything. You can just listen, hear what the guys
right.
have to say. There's no stress. There's no pressure. If you got something to say, you can say it. If you don't have anything to say, you can just listen.
Yep.
And if
Yep.
Rick is there, he's usually a guy with pros and interesting questions.
right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Eric, the thing I can do is to get you signed up to get the reminder for it. Okay. I
Sure.
can handle that and I will do it in the morning.
Thanks, Jim.
So, okay, I can do that. Dan, you have your hand up.
Since I have a little time, I
Okay.
have a CMP exam coming up, and
Okay,
I need to
4.
know prostate cancer,
Oh,
and
okay.
I had epithelioid sarcoma. I have arthritis in my back problem, and my knees. But
Okay. Now,
I'm more particularly wanted to present them with the prostate cancer, and the others I'm not so concerned about until later on down the road. So how do I prepare for that exam? I know I have to, check it, talk in detail about what I did and my toxic exposure bases I've been to, like with the water and stuff, and
Well,
exhaust. Hmm, hmm. Go ahead.
actually in this, essentially in the C&P exam, it'll be, I'm trying to remember, it will depend because are you still under treatment?
Yes.
Okay, well then that would be your position. I am
Mm-hmm.
still under active treatment and therefore, because at the time that you not stop the treatment, but your treatment ends,
Mm-hmm.
that's the point where you will be evaluated for residual effects. In other words, how many times a night do you get up to take a leak? How many
Right.
pads do you go through? And there
Mm-hmm.
are certain numbers which will equate to like 1 to 2 times a night get you 10, 3 to 4
Mm-hmm.
get you 20%. 5 or more gets you 40%. Pads, if you exceed 5 in a 24-hour a day, 60%. But because you're still under active treatment, then in the scheme of that, you would still remain 100% temporary as long as you're under treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So if they try to go there, how many times a night they look at this point in time, I'm still under the active treatment of a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yet to be determined because those things do not come in until you are through with your treatment.
Okay.
Okay, now
Hmm?
you said there was also beside the prostate cancer, it was what?
I had
On your back or something?
just arthritis and that, and my L1 and L2, my back,
Okay.
and I'm having
Okay.
problems with my knees.
Wait. Now, let's do the back. You say arthritis in your back. What they'll
Degenerative.
probably have you do is to do some kind of range of motion like bend over or something. And they may not explain to you that at the time you start to bend over, as soon as you have discomfort, you stop. That's
Mhm.
it. I don't go any further because the further you go, the less you get, right? Because if you can bend all the way over and touch your hands to the floor, they'll think, wow, he's in great shape. But it could be hurting like a son of a gun because
Right.
you're a macho man and I can do that, in the military, no. And the same thing now, that's for the back. Now they may ask you to twist, from
Mhm.
this, well, at the first sign of discomfort, that's it. Stop. I have pain. Okay, the key
Right.
is not in the terminology, not discomfort, it's pain
Mhm.
because but I call it discomfort because it starts to bother you. Of course, you
Okay.
can gut through it, but I know. Okay, so that's the back. Okay, now on the knee, it'll be probably something like you are sitting down in a chair and they'll ask you to uh, possibly have your leg outstretched straight and then bring it down.
Mhm.
Again, at the first sign of any twinges of pain, discomfort, that's it. You stop.
Okay.
Okay, those things can range anywhere from 0 up to around 30 to 40%, depending upon what kind of range of motion you can do normally. Okay.
So they haven't. They denied me because it wasn't service connected. Do I have to talk about that too?
Well, which one are you talking about was denied as service connected?
Prostate cancer.
Oh,
And
well then,
my knees and my back.
at that one, if they've already denied it, then you wouldn't be getting essentially a C&P exam for it. Because they, the first thing they do at the time they look at your claim, each item they go through and say the first thing to establish is service connection. If it's service connected, we get a C&P exam. If it's not service connected, denied.
Okay.
So apparently they are bringing you in for some items which are service connected, whatever they are, and they may not have told you.
No, they didn't.
Right, which is not too good. Here, Cosley, you have your hand up.
Yes, Jim. A quick question. You mentioned something about when treatment ends for prostate cancer. When does treatment end?
Well, here.
How do they determine when treatment ends?
Let me cover that, okay, after we finish with Dan. Okay? That'll be, okay. Sylvester, you have your hand up.
It may have changed since I retired.
Okay.
But there are a small group of veterans who get pension payments from the Veterans Administration that are not service connected.
Right.
And Dan, be very careful and try to be as specific as you can when you're talking about your ailments. If the doctor come in and say, how are you doing today? And you go back, I'm doing just great. The interview has already started on the wrong foot.
Right.
So be careful what you tell the doctor because he's going to listen to you and he's going to make notes. Right. What I would suggest you do is sit down before you have this C&P and go over all of your disabilities that are service connected. Go over all of your disabilities that are non-service connected. And list the side effects. You may have a pain today from a service-connected disability, but next week when you have that exam, you don't remember the pain today. So try to make notes. And one last thing I would suggest you do. The doctor is going to interview you. Have some questions for the doctor. Let him answer some of your questions. And that way, it's a two-way conversation. He is the doctor. He is giving you an exam. And if you have these side effects, address them while you're with him, because it may have a bearing on his write-up when he does his report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I thank you, Sylvester. Now, Dan, now even though as you might believe today, your prostate cancer is denied, but it's not out, okay? Because once you get this determination letter and it says denied, at that point in time, you can or we can engineer a supplemental claim, and you have 1 year to put in the supplemental claim with additional information which could change their minds. And the good part of it is that if we put in a supplemental claim, your original intent to file date remains for that denied disability. So if it does get awarded, like in the gentleman Bob I helped who was Fort Knox, in the first go through, the Terra was awarded to him, but prostate cancer was denied because we didn't have appropriate medical nexus included. So we happened to go back in with that medical nexus letter from a genitourinary medical oncologist, and by the time it was thing, he got the back pay all the way back for 11 months, which was about $44,000. So, which was interesting. So, at this point in time, don't panic. Okay. Just go with the flow and try to be prepared and to take Sylvester's advice. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Or are you good to go?
I'm good.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay, great. Well, keep me posted on this. Okay, Cosley.
Okay.
Let's go to your, what?
I have to duck out now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry. See you, Ray. Thank you very much.
Right, Dan. Okay. Cosley, on your question, it's a very good question to ask because I'm finding that about probably 80% of the claims that get presented to me around here and out there are for prostate cancer because of the fact that a lot of us deployed overseas. Those that did not deploy were exposed to toxic materials. Okay. Okay. A person gets diagnosed with prostate cancer. That's usually through essentially a biopsy. And that would be the start date or the possible start date of when a person gets paid. Okay. So, or it will be the intent to file date, which could be a week afterwards or 2 weeks or a month afterwards. So now you are in the game. Now you are deciding on what kind of treatment that you're going to get. You're going to get either an reactive surveillance, which means you just continue on watching it. You decide to get radiation, or you decide to get the prostate removed. Now, from the VA perspective, okay, let's take prostatectomy. In other words, you have surgery. Well, the VA doesn't really segregate out prostate cancer surgery from open heart surgery or lung surgery or any other kind of major surgery. They will give you 6 months to recover. And at the end of 6 months, all of a sudden they will be knocking on your door for a C&P exam. Now, let's go and talk about prostate cancer treatment. Generally speaking, if it's removed and there's no follow-on or no drug hormone treatment, just straight surgery, you recover. Normally what happens, as a part of your treatment plan, you get a blood test every 3 months for a year. That 1 year counts as you are under active treatment, meaning from the VA perspective, you should remain 100% temporary. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, fine. Now, at the end of that year, if things look good and the PSA is good, now you are fair game for being downgraded based on residual effects. Okay? And that, as I said, is based upon the number of times you get up in the middle of the night to take a whiz, and it's already 10%, 1 to 2 times, 3 to 4, 20%, 5 or more, 40%, and they will also ask you about pads. How many pads in a day, meaning 24-hour. If it's 5 or more, 60%. Now, let's take radiation, okay? Now you get radiated. Now, the heal time for radiation is only 3 months long, according to the VA. So at the end of 3 months, they could be knocking on your door for a CNP exam. But again, after radiation, generally you get the blood tests for every 3 months for a year. So you should remain 100% temporary. And if at the end of that 1 year, the radiation oncologist says it looks good, now you are fair game for the VA to then downgrade you. Now, if by chance the radiation doctor says, look, we need to keep on this for another 3 months or 6 months, you stay 100%. But you have to explain this to the CNP people, exam folks, and make it really clear that you're still under treatment. You haven't reached that durable remission stage yet. So that's, in essence, the game plan. Now, the thing I try to do at the time I create a claim for a person, if they know their treatment path, in other words, I've decided to have it removed and I already know what I am going to get treatment, I spell that out in the claim itself, explaining all of this stuff, and hopefully they will not be knocking on your door after 3 months or 6 months, etc. But they could. So, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now there's a third case of what happens if you get the treatment and they want to put you onto hormone therapy for 18 months after your either surgery or radiation. Well, true, for that 18 months, you are 100% temporary, right? Now you stop the drugs and they are going to monitor you with a PSA test every 3 months for 1 year. So out of all this stuff, you've got like 2.5 years of 100% temporary. And hopefully, okay, everything looks good at the end of the 2.5 years, and now you are fair game. So that's the way prostate cancer works. And the VA, you will find nothing within the websites or the DBQs or anything about how the prostate cancer treatment protocol keeps you under treatment for that extra 1 year, or it might be longer. Now, active surveillance people are very interesting because now you get told you have it, you get the biopsy, and as long as you stay on active surveillance, you're 100% temporary. And in fact, Gary Tosca has been on it now for 12 years, and he's still doing fine. And active surveillance is a valid treatment plan. Okay, long story for a very interesting topic for a lot of us. Okay, any questions on that? Sylvester.
Just to come in, I thought I heard Cosley ask, when does it stop? Did I
No,
misunderstand?
you did here. Yes. Okay.
Some veterans who suffers from prostate cancer are metastatic. They are continuously treated, and some of them are rated 100% permanent. Now, for that it may have changed, but when I was working, if a veteran had a temporary 100% service connection, and with time, that temporary was taken away, and let's say he was downgraded to 50%. If the 50%, which is not temporary, but a permanent 50%, if the 50% remains the same for a period of 20 years,
right,
it became permanent. Now, I'm not talking about 50% for 6 months and 60% for 7 months. There has to be no change in that particular percentage for a period of 20 years. Then it becomes by law permanent 50%. And only then you don't stop being treated. It's my understanding when you're treated for prostate cancer, you are either on active surveillance, which is a treatment, for the rest of your life. So if you're talking about prostate cancer and you're being treated for prostate cancer, you are followed the rest of your life for that condition, because it is a permanent condition. But that's not saying it is a 100% permanent service-connected condition. It's just like removing an organ. If you had surgery and removed the prostate, you are service-connected for that particular organ being removed. Am I making sense?
Yeah, actually, I believe what that's covered under is the 5-year rule, the 10-year rule, and the 20-year rule.
Yeah.
And once you get that downgrade to 40 or 50, that's going to be permanent, because the thing they're not going to do is, once they bring you in the first time and you're 60% because of the pads, they will probably not bring you in a year or two and ask you, how many pads do you use now? Are you still at 5 or 6? Now, obviously, you would probably say yes, because there are really no guidelines I can find that says how many do you use over 1 week period, or 2 week period, or a month period, or 3 weeks, or 10 days, or what. And to me, obviously, I know with me, sometimes I'm up 3 times a night, sometimes I'm only up 2, sometimes I'm up 4. So the question is, what should I tell them? Well, I figure, provided I was asked, I would always use worst case in a month, because I figure I should get paid for worst case in a month. Other people might say the worst case in 2 weeks. I don't know, but it's just me, a worst case in a month, because you earned it. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, it sort of takes me out there, and it does make sense. I just wasn't sure. Like I'm 3 years out from surgery, and
Okay.
I'm still going in for my periodic PSA tests.
Okay,
So
those are periodic.
right,
So you're not really, so I take it, and where the PSA is okay and everything
yes,
looks good.
yes,
So actually you're under what is, the term is a durable remission. So with that, they believe that it is not under control, not that you were cured, but it isn't active. And if it isn't active, then you are rated on the residual effects. Now, if it ever comes back again, then back up you go to 100, and then we try to figure out, well, actually, if it ever comes back and you had the prostate removed, where is it? Well, now you are stage 4.
right, the metastatic.
And also, well, the metastatic, as I said, can be in the pelvic area in general, but in that case, you are stage 4. I don't care where it is, because it's not in the prostate, because it ain't there.
And there's no prostate.
Nope,
Yeah,
it isn't there.
okay. All right, thank you. Thanks. That was
Okay.
a lengthy explanation, but an explanation. Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
I was doing that for you and also for other people, because at the time that you get, as a lot of us on this call know, at the time you are initially told, you go, I've got what? Could you say that again, please? I had no symptoms. Wait a minute, I don't believe it. And you start focusing in on just that disease and not all of a sudden the VA. A lot of folks don't. Okay, another, okay, is there any topic anybody wants to talk about? Uh, how? in the reminder I put, and I don't know if it came out okay, but I talked about the travel system, how to register for the travel system. Did that form actually print out that I put in there? I took a picture of it. For some people it did. I know for other people it did not. But in general, the travel system was a very interesting thing. I would suggest that everybody who is signed up for VA healthcare sign up for the travel system, and which entitles you to getting at least mileage for going to a VA appointment. And as I say, the healthcare is a good thing to sign up for, even if you don't intend to use it as your primary healthcare. But all you have to do is to see a primary care doctor a single time a year, and you are in the system just in case you need it. For hearing aids, which I understand can be thousands of dollars. Supplies, I mean, you can get all kinds of stuff. And so the most interesting part is to initially register for the travel system, because they have what is called a customer engagement portal. Well, I signed on to it and found out that the only way, well, they tell me that a person can actually navigate through it is to have Google Chrome installed on your computer. Well, I have a Mac OS with Safari. There is Windows Edge. Supposedly, according to them, those do not work right. And I'm like puzzled about, they should work, but it's a Treasury outfit, not really a VA outfit running the. So there's a form that all that you have to do is to fill out the form, mail it, but it's for a vendor, a VA vendor, which is confusing as hell. And so I put in the instructions how to fill out the form, and you mail it to Austin, Texas, and your information, including bank account information. They don't share the bank account that you get your VA check with over in www.va.gov. The travel system runs totally independent, practically, of the VA systems. So I would say sign up for it, and then filing a travel voucher is quite easy to do. After the appointment, you go into My Healthy Vet, you go into the appointment itself, and right below the date and the time that you had the appointment, there's a link to file a travel voucher, and click on it, and you sign into the travel system, and it magically files the voucher automatically. And then you sign out, and it's great. So anybody here file travel vouchers?
Yes, sir.
Henry, I knew Henry did, because he is all into this thing.
3 times a week.
3 times. Well, actually, yep, that's
Sometimes I do them in advance.
in
I
advance.
mean,
How do you?
I bring the forms with me sometimes,
Oh.
but
Now,
I don't submit them. But
okay, yes.
in the overall scheme of things, for some reason, it's worked out for me extremely well. The travel
Well, that
people, the travel people speak to me in the corridors and everywhere. I don't hardly recognize them. So, in fact, one of the guys took a bracelet off that I admired. It had representation of all of the branches of military.
okay.
And, and he took, I said, oh, wow, I like that. And he took it off and said, you want it? And he gave it to me. So now when he sees me, he just speaks to me.
Yeah, now, okay, that's good. Well, it's about 9:41 or 2. Is there any other topics anybody would like to talk about? As I said in
Question,
the,
Jim.
yes.
Off are you still at Fort Myers?
Oh, yeah, I am over there, okay, at the thrift store. Okay, the thrift store's
Yes.
open on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's going to be open this Saturday. So I am there on a Thursday, this Thursday, and I'll also be there for Saturday shopping, and it's generally open at 10 o'clock until 2:30, although because of the winter storms, we follow the schedule of the Arlington County Schools. So if the county school is 2 hours late, we open an hour late. I don't know why, but yes.
Military.
Well, actually, it's a bunch of
Hurry up and wait.
ladies who are wives of generals and colonels and everything else. So,
Thank you.
yes, it shall be open on Thursday and Saturday. Stop over because there's a
Saturday.
lot of good
I'll try on Saturday.
deals. Also, as I said, there is a prostate cancer presentation from 10 until 2 over in Maryland. I will put some information in text-wise within the next reminder if folks, it's on a Saturday. So I will be over there to talk to vets that could show up over there. So anybody wants to do it.
What's the location?
I don't have the brochure. I think it's in Camp Springs.
Okay.
It is off of upper, let's see, upper Marlboro. And I can send you the address of it, or I'll send you the brochure because the brochure should have printed in the reminder. But as I said, some folks, it showed up blank. And I think it was something between a Word document and Google Docs, whatever Google Docs is. I don't have it, so. The wonders of computers. Okay, anything else? Anybody got their hand up? Bruce, do you have your hand up or are you adjusting the camera?
No, I'm adjusting the camera.
Okay. Okay,
Been doing
folks.
that all night. Don't worry about it.
Okay, the last thing I'll do is for the folks out there, if you would like to contact us, the support for this is provided by the AnCan Foundation, www.ancan.org/veterans. And also you can send an email to me, Captain Jim at AnCan, or captjim@ancan.org. And I'll be happy to respond. And if you would like to join us, please send me an email and I will be happy to sign you up. And all this is done for free. Thank you.
That
Rick
CAPT,
David.
is there anything after that?
Oh, CAPT Jim, JIM,
Okay.
at ancan.org.
Okay.
Okay. Or it can be veterans, plural, at ancan.org. Any of those should work. And I check it every few days. So, okay,
You
let
guys
me.
really work hard on this.